And it wasn't just that I found one in a bathroom, it was that I found one while I was creating some biblical evil.
Noah's gonna need to flood the entire earth to get rid of what I'm putting out right now.
Welcome to Then You Ruined It, a podcast where two friends who refuse to meet in real life give each other plenty of reasons to stick to that opinion.
So as we prepare for these podcasts and we try and decide what topics we're going to talk about and things that we're going to go over, it causes you to really think about your life and examine things differently. And sometimes you're like, man, my life just isn't interesting enough to burden the rest of the internet with. And then some weeks you poop at a Home Depot and you know that the internet must know.
God bless you, podcasts. Thank you for allowing us to blast out whatever the hell this is to anybody that wants to listen to it.
Well, speaking of blasting out.
Oh, unintentional segue. My apologies.
Last weekend, my son had baseball practice in a town about a half hour north of here. So I was going to take him up there, drop him off, and then I was going to go to the Home Depot to buy some stuff that we needed around the house. That was my intended reason for going to Home Depot. I didn't go with the intention of pooping at Home Depot. I went for Home Depot appropriate business. But after I dropped my son off and started driving up there became some other business that's like, no, this is important. This is what you need to do right now. And I'm just like, man, I'm just glad that Home Depot is so proud of their plumbing selection that they will actually have public restrooms, because public restrooms are no longer a given in this country and in this day and age. And it makes me mad and very nervous. Because there have been times when you need a place to go, and if, like, you know, your local grocery store doesn't let you, you're in trouble. So,
yeah, rarely is that for me. It's usually for my son. We'll be somewhere for like 5 minutes. I'm like, Daddy, I have to pee. It's like, okay, you gotta hold it because I don't think they have any place here. He's like, no, Daddy, I have to pee. I'm just like, I don't want to deal with pee pants, so come on. See if they have a place. Oh, you're lucky. They have a toilet that's in barely a closet. Let's use it. Is it flush? Nope. Let's get the hell out of here.
That suggests follow-up stories if time allows. But I got to get through this Home Depot. So I get out of the car and I start walking in and I'm like, okay, no, this is priority one. I'm not going to shop. I'm not going to do anything for the first thing I'm going to do at this Home Depot is make it my home and depot some dookie. So I'm very hastily waddling towards the back where they always keep it. And as I'm going in, there is a guy walking in front of me. And I'm like, well, I assume everyone I see walking into a men's room is going to pee, because that's generally what you do in public. Yes, you will poop in an emergency, but you don't plan. I obviously was in a situation where it needed to happen. So I'm assuming this gentleman's just going to do a pee. But no, he goes into the stall and shuts the door. I'm like, oh, well, good thing there's multiple stalls here. And I go and as I'm closing the door, I turn around and there's another guy also hurriedly walking in. There were 3 guys within the exact same unit of time who all had emergency Home Depot poops. And we all sat together, 3 abreast, and let loose a deluge that I'm pretty sure is a sign of the apocalypse. For 3 shall duke at the Home Depot as one. And then, as I'm just like letting out this ungodly mess with the backup vocals of my fellow Home Depot poopers, I turn to the left and there, sitting on the toilet paper holder, was a modern Chick tract. Are you familiar with Chick tracts?
No.
These are those old religious comic books that tell you that Dungeons and Dragons and masturbation will send you to hell.
Okay. I've heard of that concept, but I've never heard called a Chick tract.
Well, because there was a guy, his name was like Larry Chick or something like that, and he would draw these, and so they were called Chick tracts.
I've never heard of that.
Oh, okay.
I've never discovered one in a bathroom. If I had, then yes, I would also be telling you about it on a podcast, because I've never seen that.
And it wasn't just that I found one in a bathroom, it was that I found one while I was creating some biblical evil.
Noah's going to need to flood the entire earth to get rid of what I'm putting out right now.
I'm like, this is a sign. I don't question my religion often, but as I was sitting there, I'm like, this was meant to be here for a man in my exact situation. Perhaps the Lord has something in mind for me.
I thought you meant you were shitting your brains out and just screaming at the ceiling. Why? What have you done to me? Why have you forsaken me? Damn you to hell.
I've read the Bible. This never happened to Job.
I bet it did in all those different chapters of Job. At least one of them is him just crapping his brains out all over the place.
No. You can go check it. Do a Control F in the book of Job. Diarrhea and Home Depot are not mentioned.
In the original Greek. Got translated out. All those years, it worked its way out. Speaking of working its way out, segue.
It's still in the Talmud version.
That one was intentional. You're welcome.
So, there we go. I just had a quite literal come to Jesus moment as I pooped my brains out at the Home Depot.
Did you ever?
So what's your most?
Did you ever catch? I was going to say catch wind because obviously you did. Did you see the gentlemen who were your wingmen?
We became the closest of friends. We exchanged phone numbers. We're starting our own podcast. We need one more person so we can make a barbershop quartet, and we're going to sing religious numbers, but we're going to change the word Jehovah to Jehophart, and it's going to be really big.
I think you just keep it to the 3, and you get to be Maverick, and one is Goose, and one is Iceman. Next time you guys come out of the stalls, you all have to be wearing aviators. And when you go back out into the store, you take your shirts off for absolutely no reason.
Just sitting there, ripping one out. Talk to me, Goose. How you doing back there?
It don't look good, Mav. Also, why am I behind you? That's not where the stall goes.
Talking about great balls of fire.
Oh, God. I've seen things I can't unsee.
So, what religious experiences have you had in a Home Depot bathroom?
Never in a Home Depot bathroom. I don't think I've ever pooped in a Home Depot, which I've not been in that many of them. So, yeah, I don't think public bathrooms. I've told my stories about public bathrooms that I've had, like having to crawl under the door and getting on the floor of a public bathroom is about as bad as it gets. And it doesn't matter if it looks bad or not. It's bad. It's a public bathroom. So,
oh yeah.
There's, at the very least, at the bare minimum, pee splatter all over the place. Like it makes up more of the floor than the linoleum or tile or whatever is in there. So you're already strike 3 when you get down on the floor. So, but no, I mean, I've definitely defiled many a toilet, but it always flushed. My family would tell their stories. They would tell you like, oh my gosh, every time we go out, if he has to go, it takes forever. That is one thing that happens with me is like time dilation. Like I, for some reason, like go in there and go to poop and like crank my watch back. So it's like, all right, this is like I was never in here. And then immediately it feels like my wife is like texting me like, are you okay in there? I'm like, of course. I've only been here like 5 minutes. She's like, no, it's been like 20. You need to like get out now. And I'll go to stand up and like fall over me. It's like, oh my God, my legs don't work.
You're like, I'm in another Narnia stall. Hold on.
Yeah. Where have you been? It's been 7 years.
Me and this Beaver have been playing Pinochle and eating Turkish Delight.
That is the best euphemism for taking longer time to crap. But it's great because it sounds like it's a euphemism for sex somehow. I don't know how. But me and this Beaver have been playing Pinochle. It's such a great way to say it's taken me a long time to crap.
So I have been harshly and unfairly accused of wasting time in the bathroom just on my phone, when really, I'm just trying to catch my breath. I'm old now. And yeah, I can go up the Stairmaster for an hour, but you ask me to like squeeze when I haven't had enough fiber. It's going to take me 5 minutes to recover.
I had to breathe through one this morning and was like, oh no.
A little hee hee hoo hoo poo poo.
Was not prepared for this. Yeah. What's the Lamaze? I got through it. It was fine. It wasn't actually that big either. I'm like, whoa, what's wrong with me? Like that's
the worst.
Yeah, it's not that bad. Now, I've said many times, and I will continue to do until it's not a problem anymore. The ones my daughter drops are like world enders. I shouldn't say world enders, toilet enders. Oh my goodness. There was one time last week when every toilet in the house was clogged because of her. I'm like, what? What? Why? How? Huh? Like, trust me, based on diet and size, what has 2 thumbs and should be clogging all the toilets in this house? This guy. How the hell is it you? He's second smallest of the people in the house. And I think, talking about public bathrooms, I think it's because she refuses to go in a public bathroom, even at school. So.
Oh, yeah.
That'll do it.
That's a problem.
Yeah, that'll back you up. And then when you do finally go, it's just like, oh, I'm so relieved to finally crap after 3 days of holding it. Oh, no.
She reverse snake? What the heck?
Again, snake would be preferable because that will slither its way back down the toilet. This is just a brick. This is like a Chipotle burrito. Comes out her butt. At least 5 times a week. That's all I see when I look in there.
5 times?
It's like, oh, that is a large to massive baked potato that I now have to say a prayer for in the hopes that it will actually go down the toilet. When it doesn't, an exorcism may be involved.
I've seen dogs smaller than this poop.
A nice little teacup terrier is smaller than the shit that you've just exhumed from your butthole. Oh. Yeah, so definitely had my share of issues over the years and continue to, and but in public, rarely. Airports are the worst for me because it's a time thing. Like, okay, we have to be at a gate. We have to be at such and such time. So if you have to go, get this done. Like, I know that's when my wife will text me and say, like, it hasn't been, we're getting ready to board soon. Are you almost done? It's like, no, I've been here for like 2 minutes. There's no way. Oh crap, I slipped into another multiverse.
Still has 2 hands to play.
Stand up from this toilet, say, Beaver, I'm sorry, I must go. Nor all the weird
Mr.
looks
Beaver,
I'm getting.
Mrs. Beaver. I appreciate you teaching me the true meaning of Christ's sacrifice, but now I must away.
Keep your Turkish delights to yourself. They're not good for my colon anyways.
You made it through another episode of Then You Ruined It. If you still want to hear more from us, you can find us on Twitter. I am @Idahobo, and Jason is @TheJasonSigler. We also do a webcomics review podcast called Digital Strips.